Plankton showed up at the Krusty Krab with his chum army ready for revenge. Mr. Krabs was completely defenseless against the attack and had no choice but to promise Plankton the Krabby Patty secret formula. One day, Plankton used his high-tech helmet to scan the Krusty Krab and discovered that the air vent was unguarded and led directly to the safe. He immediately fired a grappling hook to zip himself over. SpongeBob was busy cleaning the restaurant when his high-pressure water gun accidentally hit Plankton, who was trying to sneak in. The blast sent him tumbling down into the sewers along with the water flow. He fell deep into the sewer system. Just as Plankton was catching his breath, he felt the ground rumbling beneath his feet. A blob of sticky chum appeared before him. It was the expired chum he'd thrown away. After being exposed to the toxic sewer air, it had transformed into a chum monster. The chum creatures bowed down to Plankton, their creator. Since Plankton had dumped so much spoiled food over the years, the chum monsters had already taken over the entire underground world. They recognized Plankton as their master and brought him to their leader. The chief promised to do anything for Plankton, so he decided to launch an assault on the Krusty Krab. Plankton began training the chum monsters. First, he taught them to ram doors. Next came target practice. Some monsters formed themselves into slingshots, others used forks as catapults, and some even transformed into cannons. When Plankton set up the targets, the creatures opened fire. Despite his agility, Plankton couldn't dodge the final cannonball. The last phase was combat training. Plankton devised a detailed battle plan, and the operation began. Using the sewers, Plankton and his chum army infiltrated the Krusty Krab. Mr. Krabs froze in terror at the sight of Plankton's forces. The chum monsters had already merged into a tank. Mr. Krabs backed up against the door in fear, only to be blasted away by cannon fire. The chum monsters then morphed into a gigantic beast. Mr. Krabs was beaten so badly he ran for his life. He called out to SpongeBob for help, but the fry cook was so focused on his work that he didn't notice the battle raging inside. Left with no choice, Mr. Krabs agreed to hand over the formula. Suddenly, he took advantage of the chum monster's distraction and made a run for it, but the sea monster swallowed him in one gulp. After being rescued, Mr. Krabs hugged SpongeBob tightly and shouted, "My hero!" Even though the mission failed, Plankton still invited the chum monsters to live at his place. However, the creatures felt the outside world was too dangerous. Only the sewers were truly safe.